August will rock as Rockin' Pod returns to Nashville. This annual convention brings together rock artists, fans, and podcasters for an unforgettable rock experience. Meet Billy Sheehan, Ron Keel, Ricky Rachtman, Mark Goodman, Matt Pinfield, Don Jamieson of That Metal Show, drum legends Carmine Appice and Vinny Appice, along with current and former members of Winger, LA Guns, Accept, Roxy Blue, and more. Panels, signing sessions, and vinyl and memorabilia vendors, all available to you at Rockin' Pod. Music podcasters from all over North America will be appearing on site for live interviews, networking, and speaking sessions. Got a music podcast? Register and join us. Rockin' Pod weekend kicks off with a pre-party concert featuring former Tesla guitarist Tommy Skio and his new band Resist and Bite. Plus, Ron Keel Acoustic, Rock United, and a rare hair set featuring many surprise guests. Rockin' Pod Weekend, August 6th through the 8th in Nashville, Tennessee. Tickets, VIP, podcaster registration, and discounted hotel rooms are available now at rockandpod.com. Rockin' Pod, brought to you by DBG Productions, Brad Lee Entertainment, and Incaptia.
Hi, this is Bobby Brown, and welcome to another fucking podcast.
My liver's all twisted up. But you know what I did? I loaded up with alcohol, more specifically vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
Who wants an orange whip? Orange whip? Orange whip? 3 orange whips.
So you're bored, are ya? I've come here to break your monotony. Let me have my piece, because I'm shooting with this one, folks. I don't care, man.
The unscripted, uncensored, loose cannon of commentary.
Why did you say that? Why? Why? You come out with stink like that? Poop. Your poop mouth. You have poop out of your mouth.
See, son? Old legends never die. They just lose weight.
Like a legend and an out-of-work bum look a lot alike, Daddy.
I've got a midget friend, an albino friend, and another friend who thinks Lord of the Rings is real. Together we call ourselves the Unfuckables.
Winton is in. Let the fun begin.
Party time.
God, you're an asshole, man.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah. Yes, it is party time. It is also Drunken Summit time. Yes, it is another fucking podcast. Metal Edge Magazine's another fucking podcast. I am your host, Izzy Presley. And oh, we got a good one for you tonight. We are doing Iron Maiden, and we are doing Number of the Beast versus Powerslave. It is going to be stellar. Make sure you guys hit up all the social medias at Real Izzy Presley all the way across the board, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And of course, most importantly, the show page is Another Effing Podcast on Facebook. Make sure you follow Metal Edge Magazine on the Instagram and on the Facebook. And you can hit up my glorious cohort right here, Paul Gargano, up on the on the Instagram and on the Facebook page and the Twitter that he never checks, and get all that shit
Twitter.
going.
I'm a recovering Twitteraholic. I had to just pull off Twitter. It was getting in the way of my life.
That's why I don't live by it. This is our final live show for a little while. I think next week we're going to be pre-recorded because Paul, you are going to be out of town, and I am going to be driving to Minnesota. Yes. So I am going up. I am going to help out with the tribute to DB Curtis that left us in January up in St. Cloud, and stock up on this glorious Michelob Golden Light. They can only get up there. Oh yes, I forgot, because it is a drunken summit. In the words of my, watch your feet, so I'm going to name drop, my close personal friend, Stone Cold Steve Austin, crack one for the working man. Cheers.
Is it a name drop if it's really not your close personal friend, though?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. And in the words
I have a question for you. I've never actually paid attention to the intro before, because usually I'm running around trying to fill my coffee mug or something in the minute before we go live. Did it say legends never die. Old legends don't die. They just lose weight.
Yes, that is from Smokey the Bandit.
Isn't it the opposite? Don't they gain weight?
It is.
Okay,
it is.
just making
But it's
sure.
Smokey the Bandit.
Sure.
And,
no, I'm just making sure. Okay.
And in the words of our other close personal friend, the great Don Jamieson, to hell with our livers.
That's
Cheers.
right.
Oh, look at that. The Trooper beer.
Got to represent properly tonight.
I'm drinking Dunkin' Decaf.
Sure.
Wow, you're hardcore. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the show, the great Don Jamieson. How you doing, buddy?
Everything is cool, man. Masks are off. People are laughing. People are smiling. People are coming out again. It's so good to see all your beautiful unmasked faces.
That's right. You don't live in California.
Yeah, exactly. I keep trying to remind people that California is still on lockdown.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah. People's Republic of California. Yep.
Come to Jersey. I got a guest room for you guys.
Yeah, seriously. Like, it was so funny. Like, Jay, I don't know where he is and everyone else is, but his bandmate was like, dude, we're wide open now. And I'm like, not in California, we're not. But like, the crazy thing for us is we're still on lockdown, and on June 15th, we're just wide open with no restrictions. It's like, what's the point? What's going to change between the 14th and the 15th that we can't be opened up now? It just makes no sense whatsoever. But I've stopped trying to make sense of any of it.
I don't make sense of anything. I just.
That's why we debate, and just to forget about the world for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we have drunken summits.
That's right. Welcome, very first time from Drowning Pool, Mr. Jasen Moreno. Welcome, sir.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Hey, man, it's good to have you. What's going on in the Drowning Pool world?
Lots and lots of stuff that
you can talk about. Yeah, you can start talking about it, and Paul will jump through the screen.
Yeah, I don't want to get scolded, so that would be humiliating.
We actually, there was a big announcement that was supposed to come out tomorrow that I was given permission to scoop on the podcast, but then it's not going to make the announcement until Friday now, so now we have to be a little bit more delicate. So
it's okay, because Blabbermouth usually doesn't get to this show until about a week and a half after it's posted. So what can you do? Welcome, first timer from the band Heaven Below, and arguably the world's biggest, most famous tribute band next to ACA tribute to Ace Frehley, from the Iron Maidens, Nikki Stringfield. Welcome.
Thank you.
Nikki, hello. Oh, by the way, I said this off the air. I'm going to say it on the air. Thank you very much for making yourself even more beautiful and putting on makeup so the five of us could even look more hideous and ugly. I much appreciated.
Thank you, Paul.
The five of us probably haven't showered in the last week as much as you did today.
Caught me on a good day. Usually I need a shower badly and no makeup. This quarantine has got me very lazy. So.
And I'm going to apologize in advance. I'm just putting out a blanket apology for anything Izzy says that you find offensive over the course of the next hour and a half to 2 hours. I accept no responsibility for anything that comes out of his mouth unless it's good. And then I'll be like, oh, I told him to say that.
So it's very hard to defend me, so try. Go ahead. I've heard it all.
Of course you have. And ladies and gentlemen, because bribery gets you everywhere, and the bribery this time was this beautiful Minnesota Wild reverse retro sweater with Presley and 27, my number, and the Captain C on the front. Fanboy, and he's one of my good friends, and I met him on his very first Monsters of Rock cruise, and you know, I clammed up to him because he kept buying me drinks. And bam, we were fast friends. Mr. Dennis Waldron, welcome to the show.
Hey, everyone.
Dennis.
Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here. Giddy.
So Izzy told me that he's like he's on because of bribery. I go, I didn't get shit out of this. What are you talking about? But
well,
he told me from the beginning that he's like, you got to come up with a Maiden episode because he's a big Maiden fan. So this is all for you.
Thank you. If you ever want to do a Bon Jovi podcast, I'm more than happy to bribe you for that one.
Oh, okay. We did do the New Jersey.
Don't get me started.
I could talk about Bon Jovi all day. And I don't even need bribery. I just want drinks on cruises. I'm fine with that.
There you go.
Trust me,
I'm good at both.
You're not going to want to hear what fucking Dennis has to say about the great Jove. But anyways, I
Wait, are you not a Bon Jovi fan? Are you not a Bon Jovi fan?
No.
Oh my God. Oh.
We could walk through the lyrics. Shot through the heart, and you're to blame. I mean, really?
They aren't all. It's not called rocket science.
Don't get me going. There you go.
So we are going to be debating in the second half of the show Number of the Beast versus Powerslave. And I teased online a major reveal about myself. And Don, after I say this, you might go back to Denim and Laughter and remove me from that amazing intro that I gave you that I do own on vinyl. I am not an Iron Maiden guy. I have never purchased an Iron Maiden record, CD, cassette, or 8-track. And up until this afternoon, I have never listened to a full Iron Maiden album. Now, that does not mean I do not like Iron Maiden. I've just never dove that deep into it. And it makes sense now because one of my good friends, Randy.
It makes sense that you're such a huge Kiss without makeup fan.
Exactly.
Because you have no musical taste whatsoever.
Exactly. Yes, and my close personal friend, Randy Ingebretson, a member of the active tribute to Ace Frehley family and Hairball and Flip, made this amazing point. He goes, dude, Maiden is just Rush, but metal. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense now, but I hate Rush. So
metal greatness, that's fine. I'll take it. At least, this is we're starting to see a trend here. When you never listened to Rust in Peace until the day we had it on the show. Yeah, these aren't even reveals anymore. It's just life with Izzy.
I know, but look, do you think it would have been better if I would have studied?
No, I think that's what makes it great for the rest of us. We are just such nerds because we love it so much. We don't even need to study. It's like you just go on. It's like, you get Maiden fans talking about Maiden, Kiss fans talking about Kiss, and it's just like it's talking about our childhood. It's talking about our moral fiber when it comes to music and metal at this point.
Absolutely.
Which is just kind of appalling to me that you're not a part of that, but that's okay. I got everybody else here to prop me up. It's all good.
But I am a team player, and that is why I am here. And plus, Dennis bribed me. Let's let Dennis. We're gonna start with you because you bribed your way on. What is your Maiden story? I know you travel the country and watch them. Where did Maiden start for you?
Wow. So I have older brothers. My oldest brother is 11 years older, and my next brother is 5 years older than me. So I listen to what they listen to. If I touched a record a certain way, or when it was on the turntable, not a record player, when it was on the turntable, I get my ass beat. So you listen to what your older siblings live to. So I grew up with Deep Purple, Alice Cooper. I mean, that was always on. And it wasn't really until I was a freshman in high school when I heard Powerslave. I went, I think the first album I ever bought was maybe Quiet Riot, Metal Health with my own money. And then I went to the record store and I was like, what is this? This just looks cool. A Sphinx, whatever, right there on the front. Didn't really know much about it. We didn't have really MTV at that time, for me anyway, where I lived. Where
are you from? Where are you from?
This was in Muskegon, Michigan. So some of my friends are listening right now because they've been texting me, hey, when are you going to start, that sort of thing. So they know my journey. I was the metalhead. I was the smelly kid in school. So, I had the long hair, T-shirts, what have you. Didn't get into Michael Jackson or, any of the real hair bands. I was a metalhead. When I heard that, it was life-changing. Hearing that gallop, Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, I got goosebumps. Like, what the hell is this? I've never heard anything like that before. Then I went back and started to get their other catalog. Then it actually was Number of the Beast, Peace of Mind, what have you. I was like, oh my gosh, how I've never heard this band. What they've been around for quite a few years now. Wait, that's not the original singer. I heard Run to the Hills. Wait, that's not the same guy. So I became a master of their catalog. The album covers got me. They were catchy. The first time I saw them was on the Powerslave tour. I've racked up 26 shows with them. When they come to this, I usually buy 4 or 5 tickets. I've even taken my own son. I live in Vegas now, but he and I flew out here to go see him in Vegas.
You've taken your own son as opposed to taking somebody else's son.
that got weird, didn't it?
Yeah, that got weird. Sorry, that got a little weird there for a minute.
So I'm a rather big man, and my son, he's 14 at the time, and he's 6'5", and he puts his arm around me. He goes, "Dad, I get why you like this. The stage show. It's just no one does a production like that." And that's what a long story here, but as a fanboy, knowing their full history, it's just amazing. What a great band, but the musicianship. I think with the 3 guitars now, I think they're fantastic. Yannick just brings so much to it. And, Nikki probably saying, yeah, I get the music. It's difficult. It's complex. There's the time changes. It's just not that 3-chord band.
Izzy's dying.
Izzy's laughing at me because I'm such a fanboy.
Look at Don's face when he brought up Yannick was gold.
Don's on his 3rd trooper, by the way. Since the story of your fandom started, Don has finished 3 beers. So okay.
All right, I'll stop. I'm on my first though. Okay, I'll stop right now. For me, that's what it was.
Yeah, he's finished 3 beers, and because it's the Trooper, it's a craft beer. His neck beard is starting to come out. So
yeah, exactly. It's gonna be longer than mine by the end of this. Yeah.
Nikki, what about you? I mean, because you're obviously in the Maidens, and you've been in the Maidens for 9 years. Were you a big Maiden fan prior, or was it one of those? Fuck it, whatever. I'll do this and learn this.
I grew up listening to Maiden. I think one of the first riffs that I learned was 2 Minutes to Midnight on guitar when I was 14. My dad played in bands. I was born in '90, so all of like the big albums had already come out. So I just went backward and listened to everything. And I had like Killers poster on the wall. If you go back and watch any of my old YouTube videos, I had Killers. I had the Powerslave Vans. I absolutely loved the guitar playing, and they influenced me so much. And so when I hadn't heard of the Maidens before I moved to LA. I moved to LA in 2012 and met the girls, and I was stoked to be able to start playing with them because, what better music to play than Maiden? Well, maybe besides Ace Frehley.
Yeah, that's right. See, I knew you were cool. I knew you were cool.
It's so much fun.
Just for the record, Ace Frehley doesn't even think Ace Frehley is cooler than Iron Maiden. Just for the record.
Yeah, Maiden is one of my ultimate top favorite bands, and getting to play that every night. We actually got to play with Paul Di'Anno in the UK a couple of years back, and that's surreal getting to hear that voice next to me on stage. I think we played what did we play? Running Free and Iron Maiden, I think.
Nice.
That was
very cool.
Yeah.
Wow, what a cool thing to play with him.
Yeah.
That's a piece of history right there.
I haven't got to
Nikki, let me ask you this. Are you surprised by because there's a billion podcasts out there. There's a billion fucking tribute bands out there. And the Maidens,
but only one Ace Frehley tribute bands.
No, actually there's a couple, believe it or not. But mine is the best. At Ace tribute. Who's getting a call?
Not me.
Not
Probably you, Izzy.
No, it's not me. All right. Well,
I'm not getting
over.
a call.
Nikki,
I don't hear
I was
anything.
going to ask, are you surprised by the success that you guys have? I mean, because you guys play all over the world. You know, we play in like fucking Sheboygan.
It wasn't like that when we joined or when I started playing with them. We just really kind of seemed to take off after we did that World's Greatest Tribute Bands show on AXS TV. And the place I played with them out of the country was Colombia. That was the first time I ever left the country. That was a eye opener. And it just seems like things picked up, and I am kind of surprised because, you know, getting to go everywhere in the world, New Zealand, Australia, you name it. Yeah. Pretty surreal.
Well, it's funny because like the Maidens page and the Twitter, they have more followers than a lot of the bands that we love. You know?
Yeah, I know it is still kind of mind blowing to me, but I'm thankful for it. Shit.
Oh, absolutely. Jason, what about you? Where does your Maiden homage start?
Very much the same as Dennis, I believe. I have an older brother. And I think when Number of the Beast hit, you know, that would have made me around 8, I think. And I know he was going to see him. So they were on my radar. He didn't really hand me down clothes, but he hand me down his musical, you know, taste, if you will. So I think that record scared the shit out of me at the time. So I don't think I was quite ready. And it's hazy, but I think Headbangers Ball was showing a lot of Live After Death. I'm sorry about that. Live After Death clips. And that got me to revisit and really hooked me. And, you know, like Dennis, I went and researched the back catalog and just fell in love. I got to see him once, and it's had a profound impact on me. Everything, every part of Iron Maiden is just really shaped me musically.
Show your
It's faded all to hell, but you might be able to.
Can you see it?
Nice. Yeah, that's badass.
It used to be awesome. Still awesome.
You know, the fact that it's faded means you've had it forever, which is what makes it even cooler.
Right.
And I saved that real estate for years until I had the bread to pay for that. So
that's great.
That's drowning pool money use right there.
Hell yeah. Mr. Jamieson.
Let me start by saying the last time I saw Jason, and by the way, very strong hair game, brother. I mean, that's amazing. Yeah. Those aren't right.
What's that?
Those aren't even extensions, right?
No, it's the real deal. It's all me.
So, Jason and Drowning Pool, they were nice and/or crazy and invite me to come up and play drums on Bodies with Mike. And at one point we were in a good rhythm, and then I got cocky and I went to go hit a cymbal over here, but he was playing my fingers with his drumstick. And I just like to say, if there's ever an opportunity to invite Yannick Gers up on stage to drum with you, please. Because that guy ruined it for me and so many other people. But luckily, they are the classics. Number of the Beast, Powerslave. I didn't even look at the track listings. Obviously, we know them by heart. I wanted to really with an open mind and not go, I already got my mind made up. I'd rather you change. I think I know which way I'm going, but I'd rather my mind be changed in this time that we're together. But to me, the first two Maiden albums are still the best ones because those are the first two that I got. I saw Maiden play a Charlotte and the Harlots at Lemoore when they jumped off to warm up to go out and headline their own arena shows. And, you know, I've got a long history of seeing them live too. Obviously, I've seen the Iron Maidens many, many times, and they're phenomenal. So, you know, but Izzy, I'm like you. I'm not, you know, not a crazy Maiden fan. I like them up to about Powerslave, you know, for the most part. I like is stuff after that, but yeah. So this is pretty much right in my realm.
Well, look, I mean, I say I've never owned a Maiden record or, listened to an album all the way through, but that doesn't mean I don't know the hits. I mean, obviously,
Dude,
the songs, and
you realize you are right now, the more you talk, the more you are becoming the epitome of everything we all hate.
Oh yeah. Just wait until the throwdown.
You're the guy that just skips through to hear Number of the Beast, and then we all complain about digital royalties because people aren't listening to the full record. So like we literally Drowning Pool just spent the last week like just in grueling how do we sequence our record because of people like you who don't listen to albums. So
but I'm not a Maiden guy. What do you want? And look, I mean, actually, you know what? You want me to make it even worse? Listen to this. The only Maiden shirt I've ever owned is Killers, and somebody called me out on it, and I couldn't name a fucking song off of it.
Oh my God.
But this argument is going to come down not to the hits because they don't really have hits. This down to the deep cuts.
This honestly is going to come down to the deep cuts because I do not disrespect anybody who doesn't agree, but in my opinion, there's no way certain songs can't win. So it comes down to the deep cuts because if we know, like, how do you beat Number of the Beast? How do you beat Run to the Hills? How do you beat Aces High? How do you beat 2 Minutes to? It comes down to the deep cuts, and it comes down to that because again, it's going to come down to the super fan knowledge versus Izzy's. I want Izzy to actually have to listen to an Iron Maiden track he's never heard before, and I'm glad you did. You grew up a little bit today. This is a good thing. You're a big boy now, Izzy.
So go to the chat room really quick. Kyle Young Guns Havens. He goes, boo Izzy some more. And I think Young Guns might be the non-child that Dennis brought to one of those shows. And then he also, I don't know about this comment, but he goes, Paul keeps being right. I don't know why.
It's horrible to be right.
I know.
You're right.
Oh, Jay Ron is here. He says he saw them on his 19th birthday at the Agrodome in '82. Wow, you're old.
Let me ask.
I'm kidding, Jay Ron.
So he saw him in '82. When was the first time everybody here saw Maiden? Like my first time was the Seventh Son tour,
84,
New Haven
85.
Coliseum with Ace Frehley opening, with Frehley's Comet opening. But that was my first Maiden show, and it changed my life. When was everybody else's first Maiden show?
God,
It would have been early '85 for me, I think, right at mid time of the Powerslave tour.
Powerslave, okay.
I think it was at either Palladino's or the Monsters of Rock cruise. The Maidens.
Would you say Maidens or Maiden?
I am going. I'm give myself a Pat Fontaine live. Thank you very much. I have never seen Iron Maiden live.
Okay.
All right.
Nikki, how about you?
I didn't get to see them until the Book of Souls tour in Vegas. They play their
I was at that show. I was at that show. Mandalay Bay, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You too? How crazy. 3 of us were at that show. Nuts. How about you, Don?
I was Maiden on the Killers tour, opening for Judas Priest, who were on the Point of Entry tour, Asbury Park.
Wow.
Nice.
What a great deal there, man.
And my future co-hosts on that metal show were also there at that same show, but we didn't know each other back then. So that was an important show for me, for sure.
That's awesome. Jay?
Same, Seventh Son.
Seventh Son?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Very nice.
Well, in my defense, they rarely played Minnesota. I think they
You're
did
being sarcastic, right?
No, I'm serious. They rarely played Minnesota. I think they always skipped Minnesota. I think they did have Seventh Son booked, and I thought about it because I can't remember who the fuck was opening. But I think it was like GNR or Alice or something like that. I'm probably
Guns N'
wrong.
Roses didn't open for Maiden.
Okay. See, I'm wrong.
No, I know because I was an insane Guns N' Roses fan, so I know they're early. Unless I'm completely in the dark about something, I don't think they opened for Maiden back then.
Okay, so I'm wrong about that.
I'm just.
But yeah, I mean and I think the Seventh Son tour got canceled in Minnesota, or it got changed or something like that. But so yeah.
All right. That is interesting, but hey, all right. I actually saw the Iron Maidens down in like Hermosa Beach. I think it's Hermosa Beach. I can't remember the name of the club.
St. Rock,
Yeah.
maybe.
No, it wasn't St. Rock. It was This is all right. Everybody, put on your steel-toed boots. I'm gonna name drop. So when Jericho was doing Dancing with the Stars and James Durbin was doing American Idol at the same time, and Chris, and I don't remember if it was Chris or I who was technically in charge, but somebody, like literally the Voice released James to us to let him, because they trusted us to take care of him and go to this Iron Maiden show. And it was we were leaving, and I was like the responsible one. I'm like, I can't drink because I got to drive Jericho and James. And it's so funny. We're pulling out after, and Deano was there. We're pulling out after the show, and I had a rental car. And I'm so used to my car, the lights automatically turning on. I never turned the headlights on, and I get pulled over immediately for like a suspected DUI with Chris Jericho and James Durbin in the car with me. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is horrible. And I got off, obviously, but it was still bad. That was my Iron Maiden story.
Look, ironically, that's how I got mine, but Chris Jericho was not in my truck. It was some clown named Bobber. Going to the chat room really quick. Laurie from Australia says, Izzy, please say good day to Nikki for me. And
good day, Laurie.
Kyle says it might have been at Gas Lamp. It was probably Gas Lamp.
Yeah.
Isn't Gas Lamp down San Diego?
It's Long Beach.
Long Beach? I don't think it was Gas Lamp.
Okay.
I feel like it was not far from, it was on the water, I think, or close to the water. And it was, I think it was like upstairs or something.
Lighthouse, maybe? I'm not sure.
I don't remember. Like, all right, look, I'll tell you the year because all you have to do is Google when. All
right, while Paul's doing that, make sure you check out Beater Amplification. That's 2 E's, beateramplification.com. 100 watts of testicular fortitude. Yeah. 3 channels, hand-wired, hand-built, amazing fucking amplifiers. You got your old school Kiss tone, old school Metallica tone, and your old school clean-ass Fender tone. Beateramplification.com. Hit them up on there and then on Facebook as well. And our good friends over at Mackie. You want to get a podcasting, you want to get into home recording, hit up Mackie.com, MACKIE. Hit up the studio bundles, a very affordable way to do it. MACKIE.com. What do you got there, Paulie?
It was 2011.
Right before
you? Okay. It was 2011.
Damn. Yep.
So
just barely.
That was when.
Hold on. Bruce from Canada. Hold on a second. Bruce says May 25th, 1988, Edmonton, Guns N' Roses open for Maiden on the Seventh Son tour.
So it's Canada. There you go. So it wasn't America.
But I think they were
supposed to.
They were supposed to.
Minnesota is basically Canada. I mean,
it is. It's true. It's true. We are South Canada.
The Midwest did, like, that part of Minnesota is Canada, but they might have done Canada, which back in the 80s, who the hell knew? It wasn't like we could keep track of what was happening in Canada without the internet.
Yeah, right. The late 90s.
What?
I said Canada wasn't on the map till the late 90s.
Exactly. It didn't exist yet. It was just northern Minnesota and Wisconsin.
Yeah, right. Take off.
That's the nice thing about doing this live. We can get corrected instantly.
Yeah, exactly. And Bruce says Spokane, and Seattle as well.
Okay, so two shows.
Yep, 2 shows. Kyle says, first time I saw Iron Maidens in 2009 at the Santa Fe swap meet with Damage Incorporated and Just Like Priest. All right, cool. See,
I actually remember. I remember the Santa Fe swap meet shows.
I never got to those. I did play with some of the dudes from Damage Inc. in one of their other bands a couple years ago. That was fun. It was a fun place.
Well, I will just for the record, I will be seeing you at M3.
Yes. I've never played that before. I'm so stoked.
Yeah, I will. I'm making sure I'm flying out in time to be there for the Friday for your night also. So yeah, I'm looking forward. Wait,
I'll be there.
You're Sunday, right?
We're Friday. I think
Friday.
we're the very first band to kick the shit off.
All right, I get there Friday night or Friday morning is when I get there, so it'll be
sweet.
Very cool. Are you going?
Nice.
Wait, did you say you're going too, Dennis?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, awesome. Don, are you going to that? Because I know Eddie's hosting.
No, that's why I can't go.
Because you're not. The restraining order is in place. Yeah.
What you mean? He doesn't have like dog leashes for you and Jim to take him everywhere that he goes.
Oh,
wow! Ouch!
Hey, it's better than a moth joke. What was that, Don?
Can't ride his coat forever.
Yeah, exactly. Jason, you going to M3 to see the Maidens?
Yes. Of course. I will be there. Look for me.
Look for me. We'll be in one of those disguises with the nose and the mustache.
Yeah.
Oh, Scotty from Canada says Canada went on the map with the Gretzky trade in '88. Just saying.
Just saying.
So that's for all you hockey geeks out there.
Just saying. So if somebody made a comment earlier, and it's an interesting one for me, I kind of look at Powerslave as like the swing record for Maiden, because it was kind of that was the album where they kind of took things into a more proggy direction, if you will, like a more progressive. It was less about like that, just the quick metal songs, and more about, just the really textured songs and everything. I mean, did anyone else feel that way with that? And I know, Don, you said they lost you not long after that. Like that's.
Yeah, I did. Paul, to me, that happened on Seventh Son, because I really think, if you listen to the album sequentially, by the time you get to Powerslave, they've sort of slowly gotten you there. So it wasn't as abrupt. And I think somewhere in time, and we started getting there, that's where they started incorporating keyboards and a lot of other different sounds, and that's where I started to notice a little bit more. So by Seventh Son, I was just sort of like, this isn't the same spirit of the band anymore. But like I said, I've loved songs by them up to this, the last record, but it kind of took past Powerslave to kind of where I was just like, take a break. A little too proggy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
A little too prog, you said?
Yeah.
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 But I think with Powerslave, wasn't it like, so, if you go back, when did Adrian join on Killers or whatever? When did he join?
Was it Peace of Mind?
Peace of Mind. So then when you get to Number of the Beast, they're gelling with that lineup, and it's still Clive, right?
Adrian
on drums.
Yeah, Clive got fired prior when they brought Nico in for Powerslave. That was just the really tightness there.
Clive was on. Yeah, Clive was on Number of the Beast with Adrian. Yeah, because he had a songwriting credit with Adrian.
Yeah.
So when Nico comes in, man, and they really take it to the next level, they're really gelling with him, and then their lineup solidifies through Seventh, like Don was talking about, and that's why they started bringing in keys, because they were stable and they had to, grow a little bit. I was thinking about this earlier, so yeah, I think that you can hear it on Powerslave when Nico is introduced and really starts to, claim his own territory within the band. I think, but at least that's how I interpret it now when I go back and listen to all that.
I feel like.
I'm sorry. Let's just be clear that Adrian Smith played on Killers.
Right.
Echo came in on Peace of Mind. Did we say that?
Right.
Okay.
So and then the albums in question are like their second albums within the band, right? And that's why they're almost like iconic, because these new pieces within the band are really starting to find their own footing within the band. And I think that has to be addressed, I think, when you're talking about the record. And then, you know, once the lineup solidifies, I'm much like you, like after 7th, I was like, well, what are you going to do now? You know, it's like keyboards in the band now. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm out, you know, but I don't know.
I think the other thing about Maiden that gets lost, because in most bands you just kind of write the singer off as not really having that big, like a lot of times you wouldn't think the singer has that big an influence on the musical direction of the band. But in Maiden, I think Bruce did have a very heavy influence on the musical direction of the band. I mean, we know Bruce is very into the more theatrical, the bigger, the Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. Bruce likes that. Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, I don't know what I said, but Bruce likes Merrier, the Merrier. Bruce likes those big, just huge productions, and he likes that epic, like he's Shakespearean out there. And I feel like that started to contribute more to the direction the band went in musically as well, with Bruce's influence, because Bruce was a guy that wanted that more operatic production about what he was doing.
What'd you guys think about the era after Bruce left?
I don't think about it.
Yeah,
I don't.
To me,
I don't
that's,
either.
you know, it's kind of, I don't even. Yeah, I don't even.
Klansman, you know, okay, it's good filler.
Yeah, I just listened to those albums for the first time on a road trip back home from Texas. I'd never listened to them, and I just did. I was no. I like when Bruce plays the Klansman, or he sings it. I like Bruce's versions.
When he sang it on this tour, it was like, wow, is he really doing that? And I think he did it better.
Oh,
I really was like, wow, I like this version. Not that, you know, not taking anything away, you know, from Blaze, but it's like, man, that's the way it should have been done.
Yes, I agree. I'm definitely more for Bruce. Glad he came.
Can I just say one thing to pile on what Don was talking about earlier, you know, about the progressive side. So Seventh Son, that was yeah, they changed a lot. But for me, Somewhere in Time, do you guys remember Seinfeld, you know, the puffy shirt or the pirate shirt?
Yep.
And you've got that video with Bruce wearing the spandex, you know, like overalls with a pirate shirt on. I just thought, ooh, that's not good. I didn't understand that. That kind of killed it for me for the rest of that album.
Really?
It went too posery. Oh yeah, that video just wasn't made for MTV.
And maybe this is the problem. I'm a Bon Jovi fan, so I had no problem with the look posery. I don't care. I'm secure enough in my manhood to admit that I like Bon Jovi, so I'm sorry.
Paul, it's funny you bring that up because we received a comment on the Bon Jovi Def Leppard episode today, and the guy said, "Wow, there's too much Bon Jovi love on this fucking episode." It's like, well, it's not my fault. It's a better record.
Yeah, not our. Yeah, exactly. You know what? I'm at the point where I don't defend my musical taste to anybody anymore. Like you know what? It's, I don't feel I need to. But I actually became a bigger fan of Iron Maiden. And keep in mind, I also was the guy that I ran a prog rock record label in America for a couple of years. So I mean, I literally, Seventh Son's my favorite Maiden record. Yeah, no, I love Seventh Son. I actually became a huge fan of the band post Powerslave. I love A Matter of Life and Death. I love Book of Souls. I love Brave New World. I mean, but I was also a huge Dream Theater fan and a huge Queensryche fan, and I love that prog element. Like I want those big, you know, I love the hits. I love the old stuff. I love the short metal songs, but I also like that. I like that prog element a lot. And, you know, I I just accept what Don was saying. I accept Yannick. You know, there would be we can't have Iron Maiden without Yannick. It's just the politics of the band. So I just accept it.
I think he's fantastic. He's great to watch live. He's a madman.
It's something to watch live.
Dennis is right. Live, man, he's so animated, man, and his, acrobatics with his guitars.
Yeah, Dave and Adrian don't bounce around at all like what Yannick does.
Right. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not a Maiden guy, but there's no room for acrobatics on stage in a fucking Maiden show.
It makes it work.
Which is kind of what makes it so amazing. There's no room for it at all, but it just kind of fits awkwardly, but it fits. It's like that, how does that work? It's just Yannick and it works. It's just, that's it.
Jim Florentine had the best. Last time we went to see Maiden, he goes, at the merch booth, Maiden should sell like horse blinders for people, just for the one side. If you don't want to see hers, you don't have to. I go.
Is Jim just is Jim just Colin Quinn in disguise? Because I can't tell the two of them apart when they talk.
Yeah, kind of. I think that was an idea because every time I go, I'm like, oh god damn it, how do I like block this guy out? And I think that I have to see him.
Poor Yannick.
Oh goodness.
World. That's why I hate to say that, but believe me, the most hardcore Iron Maiden fans will tell me all the time, like, yeah, we just deal with it,
It's, you know what? Yannick is like Yannick to Maiden, to the hardcore Maiden fans. Yannick is like Tommy Thayer is to Kiss fans. It's just like you have to accept it. You're not going to have a Kiss without Tommy Thayer, and you're not going to have a Maiden without Yannick. So it's just, that's it.
What's the deal with him? He came back with Bruce. He was in Bruce's side band or whatever.
No, he was in after Adrian left. He came in. So the problem,
he's been in the band for decades.
Yeah,
he took over.
To the Slaughter or whatever.
Didn't
he play on that one "Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter" song?
I believe he was on that record.
Balls to Picasso. Yeah, balls.
When Bruce, but Yannick wasn't part of Bruce, was he?
I thought he played on it. Maybe
I thought Yannick came in post, and maybe I'm completely wrong here. I thought Yannick came in Adrian.
But wasn't Bruce already back? Bruce was already back.
I thought Steve brought Yannick in. Am I wrong?
Bruce says he was with Bruce solo before.
Yes, but who brought him into Maiden? Did Bruce bring him into Maiden, or did Steve bring him into Maiden?
Bruce.
It's got to be Bruce.
Bruce brought him, and Adrian split. I thought that's how that worked. Or
maybe some double duty. Now you guys are calling my fandom because I'm from the 80s. Not really what happened, whatever. I'm Googling it. It's my friend right now.
Yes.
No,
Yannick is not listed on Balls to Picasso. I thought he was. Okay, so then he would have been right into right after Bruce left.
And I have inside Maiden information that I could never share publicly, so I can't divulge. But my understanding was, and I could be wrong, but my understanding was at some point as the band reassembled, part of the deal was you left, you weren't here, you can come back, but he's not leaving. And there was a bit of a power struggle in that way. Not a power struggle, but there was, we're not replacing members just to pull you back. Other people are staying. And does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
Kyle in the chat room says, this is so much fun to see me and Bruce know Maiden through and through, watching y'all butcher Maiden facts. And he also says, I've seen the Maidens 25 times. Oh, you're a stalker. All right.
Yeah, exactly. Restraining order.
Oh, damn.
Oh, my goodness. What
Wait,
else
so,
you want?
look, he can say that, but fill the gap in there if he knows what he's talking about. Hold on, I'm looking right now at Yannick.
I wish I had it. That's what she said. Drop for that.
Was it Yannick's first album, Fear of the Dark? Isn't that the first one that he played on?
That's what I'm trying to find out now. All right, here. During the recording of Tattooed Millionaire, here we are. During the recording of Tattooed Millionaire, Gers was asked to join Iron Maiden in place of Adrian Smith. So that was right. He replaced Adrian Smith. So I was not wrong. He has remained with the band He has remained with the band ever since, even after Smith rejoined the band. So he was not, the deal was Adrian's coming back, but we're not throwing Yannick out to bring Adrian back. And that was it.
I just realized something. I just did realize something right now. There is something that I love about Iron Maiden. The Adrian Smith Richie Kotzen record that just came out is fucking amazing.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. Adrian can sing, and the blues style. Holy crap. The versatility.
Yeah, my favorite Maiden song of all time is "Wasted Years," and that's like I believe that's 100% Adrian. And
look at Don.
Don's killing himself, right?
Anything from here on in, no one's listening.
Please, like I got to worry about. This guy loves Ace Frehley more than life itself. Like I'm worried about.
That's easily one of the top 5 worst Maiden songs ever.
All
right.
I don't know a lot about Maiden, but Don, you're wrong. That song is amazing. I love that song.
I love
Wasted Years is a great song.
Yannick gets credit for No Prayer on the Road. So he started off on the concert side, and then he was part of Fear of the Dark. So Yannick did fill in from September 1990. Super fan.
Yes. Yeah. Super fan. No, and I knew he replaced Adrian, so don't sit here and say I'm effing butchering. Just because I didn't know Guns N' Roses opened in Canada doesn't mean Wise ass is in the chat room.
Yeah, both Kyle and Bruce are saying Don is wrong, very wrong. So yeah.
All right. So do we want to have a short play the commercial break, pay the bills, and come back and get into these albums?
I think we should. I think that is perfect time. This is another fucking podcast. Metal Edge Magazine's another fucking podcast. We have Nikki Stringfield from the Iron Maidens. We have Jasen Moreno from Drowning Pool, the great and talented Don Jamieson, who's nice enough to let me open for him from time to time. So I have to kiss his ass. And super fanboy, Mr. Dennis Waldron. On behalf of Paul Gargano, I'm Izzy Presley. We'll be back in 2 minutes and 2 seconds for the Drunken Summit. It is time to go to the throwdown, Iron Maiden style.
Vinny Tortorich here. Hey man, if you're a fan of Izzy, you might be a fan of me too. I'm the guy that gets people to lose a lot of weight. I have something free for you guys. This is no clickbait. Just go to VinnyTortorich.com and there's a big banner. It's a free PDF, how to lose weight. It's an intro guide to NSNG at VinnyTortorich.com. Go check it out exclusively for anyone who listens to Izzy Presley. Thank you.
RockstarLeatherworks.com is your home for badass rock and roll gear. Featuring 100% handmade leather bands, watches, cuffs, bracelets, and more, Rockstar Leatherworks has something for everybody. Whether you are going to the show or you are in it, you can find something to fit your needs. Choose from a variety of designs or create your own masterpiece. Their bands and watches are second to none. They also ship internationally. Who needs a stage to be a rock star? Check out RockstarLeatherworks.com.
Hey ladies, Sass Pants Designs will take that band shirt that everyone has and make it your own in a flattering, sassy, and simple way. There are one-of-a-kind tank tops, halter tops, lace-up tees, and tube-top dresses already in stock. Check out the online store at sasspantsrocks.com and like Sass Pants Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for special offers and custom orders. Use the code IZZY25 for 25% off of your entire order at sasspantsrocks.com. That's sasspantsrocks.com. Let Sass Pants make you the envy of the party.
Rockwood Saloon Authentic Apparel takes rock and roll fashion to a new level with their tees and tanks for men and women. They also make custom shirts, jackets, vests, pants, hoodies, beanies, and more. The Rockwood Graphics Department can design anything from your logo, t-shirt design, promo posters, band swag, and printed at great prices. From tour shirts and custom stage gear to killer threads for the street to the stage, Rockwood Saloon has it all. Rockwood Saloon, authentic rock and roll apparel for stage and street. World Tour tested for quality, comfort, style, and durability. Check them out at www.rockwoodsaloon.com. That's rockwoodsaloon.com.
A reading from the book of Iron Maiden. Won't you come into my room? I want to show you all my wares. I just want to see your blood. I just want to stand and stare. Thanks be to Iron Maiden.
Thanks be to Mike Dawson from the Adam Carolla Show. Thank you again for doing those great bits for us every week. Make sure you guys hit up second half of the show, A&P Laser. That's aplasers.com. God, Father's Day is coming up. You want to get your dad something so nice, so good? Hit up aplasers.com. These guys are so good. They can even laser engrave a hot dog bun. I have seen it done. It's aplasers.com. And our good friend John Palumbo. And yes, he is working on the brand new Metal Edge logo for you, Paul. He's fixing it.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
John Palumbo design. If you have a band, you have a business, you need a logo, you need a website, you hit up our good friend John Palumbo, johnpalumbodesign.com. And also really quick before we get into this, Rockin' Pod Expo. I will be there on behalf of not only this show, the Monsters of Rock Cruise, and Monsters on the Mountain. And I guess there's a good possibility that maybe I'll doing some stand-up comedy, possibly. Don might possibly be doing some stand-up comedy.
Possibly.
Maybe.
Definitely.
Yes. So, so I will be on one of those shows. I will be doing stand-up again. And that actually means that punchlines and backlines might be starting up again here in beautiful Hollywood, California. Maybe this month. You got to see. So, shall we get into this?
Scorecard ready.
He's got the scorecard ready. There you go. And I'm going to do another shot because it's Maiden.
I just did another coffee.
Wine.
Decaf,
And yes,
of course.
and yes, Kyle, Scott, Bruce, and everybody in the chat room, Brian from Chicago, because I am drinking now. I'm not going to work after this. That means there will be a post-show Zoom gimmick going on as well. So even if it's just me, that's fine. Doesn't matter. So shall we get into this?
It's gonna be you by yourself.
Yeah, it'll be me by myself.
It's gonna be like every. It's gonna be like every.
I'll be there too.
Izzy by himself.
Nice. Doc will be there.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's do this. We got Powerslave. I almost said persistence of mind, and I would have got punched for saying that. Powerslave.
Persistence of mind.
Yes, I know that's an Anthrax record. God damn it.
No, we should start doing mashups.
Ooh.
Persistence of mind. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Persistence of time. There you go.
Persistence
Blame
of
the
time.
Jack Daniels. God damn it.
Persistence of time button.
So we're doing Number of the Beast versus Powerslave. Track versus track. 8 versus 8. Let's see how this goes.
Do we want to do predictions ahead of time or no?
I'm gonna start and say that fucking Number of the Beast is gonna walk away with this.
Okay. I honestly don't have. If I had to guess, I'm going to say Powerslave, but I'm not very. I wouldn't put money down on that. That's my guess. So
I think it's either Powerslave or a tie.
All right, that's. I would honestly, if you asked me to put my money anywhere, I might go with money on tie, to be honest. But we'll see.
I think Powerslave.
You think Powerslave?
I don't know.
Dennis, Don?
I gotta go Powerslave.
Oh, sorry, Dennis.
I'm sorry. I got to go Powerslave. I told Izzy that was just the album for me, track by track. I just think it's rock solid.
That's my favorite.
Well, I think it's interesting when you do this, when you go track by track, or even for bands that have a long catalog and you go album by album, and you kind of, when you do it that way, you see it in a different perspective.
Yeah.
I've done this with actually Iron Priest through album by album, and I'm a maniac Priest fan. And even though at the end I was still Priest won for me, it was way closer than I thought. So that's why I said I didn't come to this with any expectations. I think that Jason brought up the tie. I think that's very likely, but I can't put any odds on it, because I also thought the Minnesota Wild make it past the first playoff.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, I put $20 on them to win the cup, and that was $20 wasted.
Right.
So I jinxed the Vikings as well.
All right.
As you should.
So, and I did not. I was going to hit Jericho up and ask him for a tiebreaker. Maybe I'll text him while we're doing this. I'll see what because if it ends up a tie, we'll let Chris be the tiebreaker. But
there you go.
All right. So we'll start off. Track number 1, Invaders from Number of the Beast. I'm always going to do the numbers first since it was the first album. So track 1, Invaders versus Aces High. And not, when we say Aces High, we don't mean Ace Von Johnson is stoned.
I'm gonna go first on this one.
Okay.
I'm going Aces High.
Okay. I'll just jump right in, and I'm going Aces High also. That just is one of my, I love, we talk, whenever we do these, we talk about great opening songs, and Aces High is just phenomenal opening track for me. I mean, it's just one of the strongest opening tracks in their catalog as far as I'm concerned. And I'm going Aces High.
Yep.
I think it's go ahead.
Unanimous for Ace Von Johnson is high, but who knows? A lot of Invaders gets a lot of flack, but I still think it's a really strong song, but it's not even nowhere near Aces High.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll do a +1 on Aces High.
Yes.
+1.
+1.
Yeah. Aces High for me. I love Invaders. That's such a fun song to play, and we open the set with both of those songs, but you can't beat Aces High. Just can't.
Jason?
It's unanimous. Aces High, without a doubt.
Aces High, without a doubt. All right. So track number 2, Children of the Damned versus 2 Minutes to Midnight.
That's a hard one.
That's a hard one.
That one's a hard one. And then you think, is it the song? Is it how they play it live? Is it the fan participation? 2 Minutes to Midnight wins from that perspective, but I love Children of the Damned. I may be a little off here, but I'm going to go with Children of the Damned on this one.
You're going with Children. All right. And that's one of the things we always. Well, can you hear the dog, or are we good?
We're good.
Right. You're fine. You're fine.
That's one of the he says he's going with Powerslave, But that's one of the things you always, when we do this, especially we do so many Kiss ones, and Kiss is a really strong example of you got to try to get that live out of your head when you're talking about recorded albums.
I know.
So that's the problem. So it's like trying to separate the two. But I'm gonna say I love Children of the Damned, but I'm going 2 minutes to midnight. It's 2 minutes to midnight by a pretty lengthy margin for me. I do love Children of the Damned, but it's 2 minutes to midnight for me.
Nicola.
I'm going to say the same. I absolutely love Children of the Damned. The way that song builds and builds towards the end is so badass. But God, I love 2 minutes to midnight. So I have to do Powerslave.
You're going Powerslave too? Okay.
I first heard Children of the Damned as a cover when I was doing the cover show on Rockin' 101 Under the Covers with Izzy Presley. And dude, the fucking version was by fucking Sebastian Bach. And yes, Paul's pissed because finally the fucking Sebastian Bach impression came out. And I 2 minutes.
I'm gonna trigger my dog to bark whenever you do the Sebastian Bach imitation. That's gonna be like the Sebastian imitation, and that's when I'm gonna.
I just figured that's the only way I was gonna, tunnel
incorporate it. It's got to
yes.
get into every episode. Yeah,
absolutely. But that was when I was exposed to Children of the Damned. And 2 minutes
which is better than being exposed to Sebastian Bach.
Dude, I know what you're fucking talking about. I have to go with Children of the Damned. It's just I'm a sucker for a good ballad, and even though it's not like drink my liver away ballad, it's fuck.
It's not like Bed of Roses.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a great fucking song, by the way. I want to lay you down in a bed of roses.
But that's right.
Well, it is, because it's a slow song. It is a ballad type song. It's just not a love song.
All right, we got Jason and Don.
Go ahead, Jace.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to say 2 minutes to midnight because it's funky, man. Iron Maiden throwing down the groove, and Steve really shines, and man, it's just so many hooks, whether they're vocals or musical hooks, and it's a brilliant rock song, man. It creates singable lyrics, and also because of the chanting 2 minutes, that really hooky, but also I think within the guitars too, there's like little guitar overdubs and little lines that you find yourself singing as a fan, and if they're not there live, say you miss it live or whatever, while Children of the Damned is a wonderful moving piece of ballady type, and as Nikki said, the ending is amazing, even the last note, that crazy Bruce really bringing it home strong. But I think 2 minutes to midnight is the superior song out of the two.
Fantastic. All right, and Don?
Again, when you go track by track, it really makes it interesting because Children of the Damned may be up against another Back in the Village, then that might be more obviously Children of the Damned. So while my heart is in the Damned, my Trooper beer.
2 minutes to midnight. All right. Yeah, that's where it gets really wild when you start to put them when you put them like this, you don't get to choose the order. Number 3, The Prisoner versus Lost for Words, Big Aura.
Fanboy, go.
Lost for Words on that one.
All right.
Oh.
That was decisive.
Yeah.
What? That's why he's a fanboy.
Yeah. I'm just gonna disagree with you outright. This is gonna be the first one where I go to Number of the Beast. I love The Prisoner. I I am a big fan of that song. I love Bruce on that. I think it's one of the first real signs of Bruce's, that theatrical element that we see more and more of with each ensuing record from Bruce. I think we're introduced to it a bit on The Prisoner.
It was also Adrian's got the first co-writing effort on that one, so it was his song. It's a fantastic song.
Yeah. No, and did you just, for a little nerdum here, you might know more than I do about this.
Yes, he does.
Bruce actually had songwriting credits on this album, apparently, but contractually, they weren't allowed to reveal them because he was still under some sort of something with Samson.
Yeah. I don't know. That's some really deep knowledge. I'd have to go try to find that out.
I knew it started with an S.
I've tried to fish that. It's like a little bit of stuff I've tried to fish, and I've even asked Bruce before, and he just I've gone flying with Bruce before. Like, he's taken me flying.
Is that a name drop? Did we get a name drop on that?
Yes, we got a name drop.
That was the definition. That right there was such a name drop. It was a mic drop.
Jesus Christ. I was quoting Dumb and Dumber, and you go, yeah, I was flying with Bruce Dickinson.
But it was like, I would love to know the legal-esque behind that, because it's a part of, like, from the management side now, I understand the label side so well that it's really interesting to me that there's, because now he'll come out and say, I had some intellectual additions that I made to that album, and he won't come out and say he actually wrote on it. It's really fascinating. But anyway, I'm going Prisoner on that one because I fucking love that song. So,
Jace, you were doing some amazing type shit. Why don't you go?
It was so final when he said "Lost for Words," final, no explanation needed. I'm gonna have to side with Paul and agree that Prisoner, like, I have issues with Prisoner. I don't like how, it's an intro into an intro into, I don't think Bruce sings until a minute 30 into the damn song. So, I don't think it's the most perfect Iron Maiden song, but if we're going song by song, album to album, then yeah, I have to go with Prisoner because it's got a great hook, and it's got some, like, the intro becomes the setup for the solos, so there's very interesting things they're doing musically on Prisoner, so I'm gonna choose Prisoner.
Nick?
I'm gonna say Prisoner too, even though I really love Lost for Words. It's a really fun instrumental song, super fun. But in Prisoner is very Adrian driven, like you said. You can really hear his kind of writing come shining through on that. But yeah, Prisoner for me on that one, despite that long ass intro, for sure.
Mr. Jamieson.
What does anybody know what a big aura is?
I was actually
I know what a big areola is.
I actually did a deep dive on the internet trying to look it up, and I was just like, I couldn't even, because I was like, what is a big aura? I don't know what one is.
So we don't even know. So then, that automatically disqualifies it from competition. I don't know how many times Maiden played The Prisoner live, because I remember, like I said, when they played a Charlotte the Harlots at L'Amour's in the warm-up show for their arena tour, I went to the arena tour also, and they never, as far as I know, they never played it when they.
I don't think so.
Or so I might have seen the only time they ever really played that live.
That would also be a mic drop, by the way.
Yeah.
But I'm sure somebody from the chat room is going to chime in and say, you're wrong. They played it on this date somewhere.
Exactly, because Maiden geeks are as bad as fucking Rush geeks.
Oh yeah.
So what was your choice, Don?
The Prisoner.
Prisoner. All right. Well, I'm going to tell you why you're right. Because the intro, it just, I think
the guy who didn't listen to Maiden before today is going to tell us all why we're right.
The song he's listened to maybe 2 or 3 times.
No, I've heard the Maiden Prisoner many times. The other song I heard for the first time today did absolutely nothing for me. The Prisoner, the first time I heard it, and Scotty mentioned this in the chat room, and yes, this is the first time I heard The Prisoner was on our good friend Chris Jericho's original Fozzy record. That was the first time I ever heard that song. And the intro, he sounds like Dr. Evil. Number 2? Are you number 6? Right. So anyways, I'm going with The Prisoner.
But I have no idea. Honestly, none of that made any sense to me at all. I'm convinced. I wish I had a capacity to quote movies, because I would do the host of the debate in Old School where I have no idea what just came out of your mouth, but I think I'm dumber for hearing it. Something along those lines. But okay.
But I do like the song The Prisoner. I think it's a very good song.
And it is the second half of the podcast, so I have to start eating. Sorry.
All right.
Well,
I
was
guess that means
completely outvoted on that one. That's cool. I just thought the instrumental kicked.
You know what? You are completely outvoted on that one. Thank you for fucking up what would have been our second unanimous. So
remember, this was my first Maiden album. When I heard that, it was that is so cool.
But I have to say, I love, and Jason was right. There are flaws to that song, but this was the first Bruce record. Like, they're just finding their way together at this. Like, when you consider that's the first record with Bruce, and they literally. That's the start of what would just be one of the most powerful bands in the history of metal. That's pretty amazing, pretty remarkable. And that, even flawed, that song to me is just genius. That's so. All right, this is where things start to get a little bit more interesting to me. Track number 4, 22 Acacia Avenue versus Flash of the Blade. How about ladies first?
Yeah, ladies first. I have boobs.
Moobs? Moobs or
yes, yes. Nikki, go ahead.
That's another really hard one. I love 22 Acacia Avenue, but I really love Flash of the Blade more. I love Flash of the Blade. It's got a lot of fun guitar parts, and that's where I usually gravitate towards is, all of the different guitar parts. And to me, it's a fun song with a lot of, different guitar harmonies kind of going wild everywhere. But 22 Acacia Avenue, it ends with that. Once again, it kind of ramps up at the end, just like Children of the Damned with those solos. That outro solo of Adrian's is insane. And I love the Dave solo in it, but I'm going to go with Flash of the Blade. A little bit more.
All right. Since it's ladies, we'll stay with the ladies. Izzy.
Yeah.
Well, first, before I give my answer, Bruce says big
the
aura.
The blonde ladies go first.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm ginger. God damn it. Bruce says, hold on. Bruce says big aura is English slang for big horror. Just a North London accent. All right, cool. Well, thank you, Bruce.
Didn't know that.
Also, all right. Because today I heard both of these songs for the very first time. And the one that grabbed me more, one of them I was on the shitter and the other one I was cleaning my room.
Hold on a second. Nikki, remember when I apologized in advance earlier? The blanket apology for anything that comes out of Izzy's mouth? Right there. Here we go.
Yeah, but Paul, everybody poops. Girls poop, damn it. I have to go. We're on track number 4. Track number 4. I gotta go. Number of the Beast. 22 Acacia Avenue.
Two completely different styles of songs. Two different writers.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I like that song better.
Okay.
Wait, which one?
Acacia Avenue.
22.
Okay.
Right.
22.
All right. So we're going to let Dennis jump in here.
All right. So Flash of the Blade, written by Bruce. And then if you look at 22 Acacia, Steve had the major right, and then Adrian came in second on that. two completely different style of songs. But I've got to go with Flash of the Blade. I think that is where Bruce started to shine, and I think maybe that's where a little consternation happened, where he wasn't able to have a lot of influence. I think that song really shined, and I don't think it got all the credit that it should have. One of my favorite songs.
Very good. And you know what? I like what you said. I'm jumping right in there. I'm agreeing with you on Flash of the Blade. I love Acacia Avenue. I think it's great. I love it. Flash of the Blade, and again, this is just, to me, and I wanted to ask, actually, I'm detouring into a Nikki question first, because you've said a couple times now with Powerslave that the songs are a lot more fun. You have fun playing them. Do you think there's an other dimension to the playing when we get to this point than there is in some of the earlier stuff? Is it a different mindset than there is on the earlier records?
Oh yeah, it kind of goes from the first two albums, kind of more punk rock, more just kind of just, and then you get Number of the Beast and everything, and that one's, they're evolving.
Yeah.
And I play the Dave stuff, so he's kind of been around for forever, so I pretty much play, or not, he wasn't in the first album, but I feel like by Powerslave it's gotten a little bit more technical with the guitar playing, and I'm more of a technical, I like just jamming, but I'm more technical, and when you start throwing in all the harmonies and everything, that's where I start liking it more. So that's kind of why I lean toward it.
Okay. Paul, were you planning on getting anybody from Avenged Sevenfold on the show at any time?
I mean, at some point, they're on my list. Yeah.
All right. Well, because Kyle says Flash of the Blade was terribly covered by Avenged Sevenfold.
I'm an Avenged Sevenfold fan. I love the guys. Like, I'm not going to say it was a terrible cover.
Not our opinion.
I will say I'm very opinionated about a lot of things, and I'll get more reserved about others. I will say Iron Maiden is an incredibly hard band to cover, and you're opening yourself up for a kick in the balls, teeth, and groin, and gut if you're going to try to cover Maiden.
It's hard to make it your own. It's got to be done note for note.
Exactly. And
because you got dickheads like me that are out there, and I judge it. I'm looking for did they hit it?
No, and that's the problem. It's because you're interpreting something that the fans just consider perfection. So at that point, what are you going to do differently? How are you going to? And it's a tough pill to swallow. And like when Jericho was doing it with Fozzy earlier, all right, it's a tribute, it's a cover band, it's supposed to be tongue-in-cheek and a little goofy. You're not analyzing Fozzy doing an Iron Maiden cover the way that you're analyzing Avenged Sevenfold, who, quite frankly, in the internet era, everybody wants to hate everybody.
Right.
So it's kind of a different perspective.
And Kyle actually did backpedal and said, I love them, but I hate this cover. I absolutely love them.
No, I don't hate the cover, but it's Maiden's tough. But all right, so wait. All right, so we were all, so far we have Izzy picked Acacia, Nikki, Dennis, and myself picked Powerslave. Jason, why don't you go next? What's your take on these? Acacia Avenue or Flash of the Blade?
This was difficult for me. If you would have asked me spur of the moment, just without any prep work or any thought to the question ahead of time, if you hadn't warned me, I would have picked 22 Acacia every time, at least I thought. But going back and listening to Flash, I'm gonna go with Flash. I think it's the more interesting song, and I do love both. But if I can't go with a tie on the two songs, then I'm gonna have to pick Flash of the Blade. That thing they do in the middle that leads into the solos, it's like weird proggy, like chamber music, crazy stuff. Touch on it again, and the drums drop out, and that blew my mind all over again when I listened to it recently. So I'm gonna go with that.
All right, Don.
Well, the musicians in the chat room make such a great point about the dynamics of the song and the guitar playing, because Flash of the Blade definitely is, I think, more exciting and energetic. But I gotta say, it's the second part of the Charlotte and the Harlot duet of prostitution songs. And it's the address in Florentine always give when someone asks us where we live. We go, oh yeah.
22 Acacia.
You know where that is? So, song, but it's been a great source of humor over the years. So I'm going with Charlotte and 22 Acacia Avenue.
I knew you were cool.
I have a question for you, and I could actually ask this to you, Don, because it's always, I'm usually the only non-musician on the call. Are you a musician at all? Do you play anything?
Badly.
It's interesting because I always always find myself having different opinions than everybody else, because everybody else comes in with like these songwriting and the play, and I'm just like, I like the song for this reason. And it's interesting because I don't play guitar. I'm not a guitarist, I'm not a drummer, I'm not a songwriter. I just know what I like, and it's interesting.
Well, that's why we have a great collection of people with different points of view, and Izzy.
And it's
right. Well, but my point of view is always right. So, I mean, what can I say?
All right. On that note, we're gonna turn the album over and go to side 2.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. Anyways.
Oh my God. Yeah. So we start with the title track, Number of the Beast, versus I don't really think it matters who this is up against, but it's up against the Duelists. And I am going to be stunned if anybody says anything other than Number of the Beast here, but so I'll just start by going, duh.
I'll respond with that one. Duh. Yeah, that one's a gimme.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I didn't have an older brother. I didn't have anyone older that got me into metal. I kind of fell into it on my own, and Number of the Beast was one of the songs that got me into Maiden. And Jason, like you said earlier about how it was just a little scary for you, like you're like, this album was just scary. Like, to me, part of the initial appeal of Iron Maiden was how fucking scary and dangerous they were. In like Number of the Beast, like, holy shit, like, you just looked at that in an era where people took Shout at the Devil seriously. I mean, this was the utmost scary satanic song, and it kind of like was one of the songs that kicked metal's door in for me. And not even close. Like there's so little that could go. If Wasted Years was up against this, I'd pick Number of the Beast, because it's Number of the Beast. Like, that's how much I love this song.
I mean,
so,
it's a Zach Morris no-brainer. And Don, if you can see me check out my background.
Oh, geez. No, you did not do that.
That's right. His ace is high, baby.
Again.
Number of the Beast. It's a Zach Morris no-brainer. The biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind.
Yeah.
Dennis, you went with you agreed with me, right?
Dennis? Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
I would question anyone not choosing that one.
Yeah.
Well, now Nikki and Jason, who are fully prepared to say the Duelist, they're gonna feel bad saying the Duelist.
Yeah. Number of the Beast, for me, that song used to scare the shit out of me when I was little. Like that intro.
Yeah.
I horror movies and everything, but I used to fast forward through the intro because it would scare me. I'm like, don't let him say 666. I'm like, demons are gonna come after me. Literally scared the shit out of me.
It's like saying Candyman. It's like saying Candyman 3 times. Yeah.
After me if I let it say that, but then I listen to the song that says 6 a million times. So, but yes, that's for
Jason.
It's Number of the Beast, man. The bass lick asserts itself. It kind of had some hints on Phantom of the Opera or whatever, but it really starts that iconic Steve shape, for the musicians in the room, and even for the Iron Maiden fan, you know it when you hear it, and he does it. So, yeah, man. really wanted to be a lead guitarist, and I wanted to be Dave Murray so bad, but this was one of the clicks I loved as I switched to bass, because lead was way too hard to play out. That I would never be Dave Murray, and I started to aim for Steve Harris, and now I'm a singer. So there you go, man. There you go.
Well, that's the thing to me that separates a big separator of those songs. Because as much as I'd love to say The Duelist just to be a dick, number has the iconic scream to it. It's Roger Daltrey on Won't Get Fooled Again, right? It's that massive scream that still like pierces your brain, along with all the thoughts of horror and Satan and that comes along with it. So it's got to be Number of the Beast.
Yeah, just like
All
the
right.
Screaming Deuce.
That's a sweep. That's our second sweep of the night, going in the opposite direction.
I have a feeling the next one is going to be as
And I
well.
have
I'm
a
going to tell you right now.
I have a feeling we
Tell you right now, brother. Run to the Hills. A hit is a hit is a hit is a hit. Run to the Hills. It's a Zach Morris no-brainer as well. There's no fucking competition.
All right. Dennis, you want to go next? What do you think?
Sure. So this is where it's kind of close, and this could end up in a tie. But Run to the Hills from the video. The first time you saw the video, with the Buster Keaton videos in the background, like that's cool. You got to see the flashing lights and the big skull, or not skull, the studded arm stuff. It's like, wow, who the hell is this? This is pretty awesome. You compare the two songs, I got to go with Run to the Hills. It's the one song almost everybody knows.
Right. Jason?
What's it up against?
It's Run to the Hills up against Back in the Village. Oh, I'm sorry. We never even got to say it because this is steamrolled the intro. It's up against I'm sorry. It's Run to the Hills against Back in the Village.
I really don't want to go with Run to the Hills. It's not my most favorite. I think it's kind of a goofy lick,
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of annoying, honestly.
Yeah.
Everything about the damn song is like, it's relentless and it's undeniable. Y'all know it and we can all sing it front to back. I don't know why that is. It's a song that I hate to love, but I will have to pick Run to the Hills because Back in the Village is not as strong. It's a good song, but it's what's up with the end of Back in the Village? What's up with the end of that song?
I don't know. Nikki might be able to tell us because she loves Powerslave. So let's find out what's up with the ending to that song.
Back in the Village.
I love the condescending tone from the guy that didn't hear the record before today. Like, seriously.
At least I was honest about it. I was being honest.
God.
I love Back in the Village. I haven't played that one in so long, or actually I haven't listened to it in a while. But it ends with the Back in the Village and the Back in the Village, something over and over. And I will say, I'll go with Run to the Hills, regretfully as well. That's not my favorite Maiden song, just because I've heard it a million times that it drives me crazy to hear it. But I can't deny that it's a great song. And then you clearly that the fans go crazy over that song. There's no denying it.
Nikki, let me ask you this before we moved on to Dawn. How many songs do you play off of Number of the Beast, and how many songs do you play in your regular set off of Powerslave?
Well, we mix it up every time. So we try to put in several.
On average, do you do more off a Number, or do you do more off of Powerslave?
Well, we usually open with Aces. We usually do 2 minutes. We sometimes throw in Powerslave a lot. And then the other one's scattered in. But we always play Number of the Beast. We usually play Hallowed. So it's kind of, it's almost,
you always do Run to the Hills?
Yes. Almost the ending song every damn time.
You have
Yeah.
to.
See, you
on,
guys
this
do.
is-
You guarantee.
Come on, this is come on. Let's put this in. Let's put this in Kiss. Let's put this in Kiss talk. So let's dumb this down to monosyllabic band titles, so Izzy will be able to hopefully comprehend. So let's pretend this is Kiss. Iron Maiden not doing "Run to the Hills" would be like Kiss not doing "Love Gun." That is what we're talking about.
No, exactly.
And, like,
and that's
when
why
we
I
get-
asked the question. If you have to compare in your average set, I know it changes night to night, but I guarantee on the average, you have more songs from Number of the Beast in the set than you do from Powerslave.
I don't think that's a. I don't think that's a.
I don't think that's true.
You can't. I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's true.
You know, we play every song off of Powerslave. We've almost played every song off of Number of the Beast. We've rehearsed with
Every
Game.
night, every night.
No.
See,
no, but here's the
I
thing.
guarantee.
But if you're gonna get, but even Iron Maiden, from an Iron Maiden perspective, Aces High, 2 Minutes to Midnight, Powerslave, and Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner are in pretty much every set. All right, that's 4 songs that they play every tour. Off of this one, you have Number of the Beast and Run to the Hills. Hallowed Be Thy Name. Do they always play a 4th song off this record? Always?
Yeah, but we're not talking about Iron Maiden. We're talking about the Iron Maidens. And the thing that I remembered as listening to Number of the Beast today, a lot of the songs I remembered from seeing, you know who? The fucking Iron Maidens.
So basically, it comes back. Like, all right, I was just gonna say something, and I decided to be respectful, so I decided not to. But all right, I will say this. I agree with everything Jason said. I agree with everything everybody has said. I will also say every time I see Iron Maiden and Kiss are the 2 bands who make me turn into a 14-year-old every time I see them live. And there is not a song in the Maiden catalog that does it like Run to the Hills does. And I run to the hills. It's maddening. Hey. Oh, well, sorry about that, but the mailman just.
No, that's okay, because I want to mention this. Kyle Young Guns Haven says in the chat room, I hate that Izzy is actually right now, in my opinion. And well, your opinion's right because I'm right. So there you
go. I guess that leaves me. So by virtue of the things that you guys have already said, you bolster my case against Run to the Hills. It's way overplayed. Again, you hate to use that as a marker against it, because obviously I can still remember the first time I heard it and how much I loved it. And yeah, I still love the song. But for me, it's like when it's so close, when it comes down to which one would you, I always look at, I can't decide. I go, which one would you rather have on a deserted island and you could only listen to one of the 2? Which one would you want on? And for me, that'd be Back in the Village, because I haven't heard it 80 billion times. And this is just, this is just the truth. And the Maiden fans will hate me for saying this, but it's 100% accurate. When they play Run to the Hills live, the crowd gets all pumped up and crazy and sings and stuff. But Bruce has never sung that song well live.
He's never sung it as bad as Vince Neil doing "Girls, Girls, Girls." Did anyone see that video that surfaced today?
No, I didn't see it, and I'm not going to rip on him.
Dr. Mealgood.
1, because I'm fat, and 2, because I'm a fucking singer, and I know sometimes you suck. So there you go.
I will. You're absolutely right, Don. But that's one of those songs he doesn't have to nail every night, because it's that song could. If there's a song you can dial in with the crowd sing-alongs and everything, that's the song.
That's usually at the end of the night when the voice is kind of thrashed.
Yeah,
and it's easy to put the mic out and get everyone to sing.
Yeah, I didn't want to say prairie, and you know, if I have to pick one, honestly, again, if I was on a desert island, I'd just go. I'd rather hear Back in the Village, because Run to the Hills I've heard too much.
But what happens when you get sick of hearing Back in the Village because you're on a desert island and you don't have Run to the Hills? Then you go, God damn it! If I knew I was going to be stuck with it, I wish I had Run to the Hills.
I would have brought the album with Yannick being the main writer.
All right, so
well
so
played.
Don just took that sweep away. We are very, very close right now. I will say that 6-11.
I think the last two are gonna sway it.
I'm gonna be honest. I'll tell you right now, we are at a dead tie right now. We're at a dead tie right now. So going in, and I don't think we're going. This could be interesting. All right, so now we have the least favorite song of the bands on the album. The song that they say shouldn't have made the record, but it did. Gangland off Number of the Beast versus one of the greatest songs in the Iron Maiden catalog. I'm not biased at all. I'm just saying I'm Powerslave. So Powerslave versus Gangland, and since I already went there and said it's one of the greatest, this is a no-brainer for me. It's Powerslave.
I'm going Gangland.
Come on.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. When I listened to both of the records today. Fresh ears.
No problem. That's fine.
Gangland.
Okay, so Izzy goes Gangland. Okay.
Absolutely.
Let's go to Jasen Moreno, because we're gonna fill out the top of my screen right now.
Well, Gangland is cool, and I could see how he would feel that way. It's got the really cool drums at the top. I think Powerslave is I mean, that's the lead track, right? That's the marquee song. And he voted against it. Wow. Powerslave is very interesting. It's got some really, really cool musical themes running all through it. Powerslave. I picked
Powerslave. But it wasn't as close as it wasn't a runaway like I said it was for me. Right? Wasn't a runaway.
For me, yeah. I'm just saying I could see why a brand new, set of ears would go with Gangland. I would have to say that's wrong. Powerslave is the better song.
I think why I think the brand new set of ears like Gangland more? Because don't worry about all right, let's go to somebody else. Let's go Dennis.
Okay, so being the super fan and really appreciating their artwork, I have the Eddie sleeves. My first one was Powerslave. I mean that was the marquee for me. So that's the one right there. That was my first one, yes, all day long, because it was that song when it kicks off and that just thunderbass. I mean, that was my stereo from Sears. That nice little speakers that were always cracked and sounded like crap. I still put it to 10 because it was just such a thunderous song. To me, that is my marquee song. I remember first album, of them, when I got to that song, and then you go into rhymes like, what the hell just punched me in the face? It was such a kick-ass song.
But you're picking Gangland.
Yeah. I was building up. Wait till you see what I got to say about Clive's contribution to that song. Yeah. No, to Cali. Now, Powerslave is my number one out of their catalog.
Fantastic. Okay, Don, let's let the lady go last this time. Don, what
well, we'll get to her very quickly because it's unanimous. It's I agree with Jason. I think Gangland's a little underrated, but it's Powerslave's just too much of a beast.
Yeah. And I we're all we have no idea what you're gonna say, Nikki.
No idea. Powerslave all the way. That's
Powerslave.
my favorite song of theirs all time. I love the Egyptian theme. I love the vibe. That's my favorite all time.
Maybe I should have went with that because the Egyptian theme and Kiss Hot in the Shade with the Sphinx.
Can I be? Oh, geez. I was going to be a name dropper. If I could be a name dropper like Paul.
We're all here to drop names.
So on the cruise last year, Big John Murray threw me a solid. He went up and he talked to the management team for Steve, that was there with British Lion, and said, hey, guys got a maiden sleep. They brought me over to actually do more than just, the meet and greet, but I went up to him. He's short. He's just such a nice guy. And I said, hey, will you sign my arm? And he signed right there. And I was walking around like a dirty bastard, just nasty, because that marker was on there for a couple of days. But that was the one that he saw. So that's my first name drop.
That's what that smell was.
That was me. But it was so exciting for me that was the one he recognized when he looked at my arm. He did this. He doesn't talk much. That's nice. I mean, it's just so cool. But that was the one he called out. What was that album cover?
Wait, did you get the autograph tattooed?
Yeah. Right there.
That's great.
Nice.
Awesome. All right. So we go into the last song now, which this could be interesting. It's Hallowed Be Thy Name.
This is the hardest one.
Versus Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. And this one definitely is not easy. And like all of them, there's no wrong answer.
It is easy because Hallowed Be Thy Name is far superior. And not that the other song is bad, but Hallowed Be Thy Name, as iconic as it is in the Maiden world, and yes, I know about that. I may not be a Maiden fan.
I know about that because I saw the Iron Maidens 52 times. We know, blah, blah, blah.
No, I only saw them like 5 times. So it is Hallowed Be Thy Name, and I'll tell you why, because I'm going to do this. There is no finish up. It is the Great White Promotional Shark Drop.
Okay, all right, fine. I don't know what that meant.
I didn't have a mic to drop, so I dropped the Great White Promotional.
I have no idea what that meant. That's okay. I don't think any of us did. So let's just go to Jasen Moreno next. Because I can't follow up a shark drop.
Again, a really tough one. How could you ever go against Hallowed? That's such an iconic song in every way. But I think I'm gonna have to go with what means more to me, and it has to be Rhyme, because that's like on my life's work to be able to play that song. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to do it. The bass line. So the bassist in me, the small part that still clings to, wanting to learn Rhyme, and that's my jam. I have to. It's like unfinished business for me, and it's a great song. They're both great songs, but man, just Rhyme with, the journey that it takes you on, and the big, when Steve's like, I'm a big fan of Steve Harris, obviously, as much as I am a fan of Bruce, and a lot of, mannerisms that I may have taken from Bruce live, if you catch it, sure. But so you can hear how I'm torn between the two songs. But okay, I'm done talking. Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, all the way.
All right, Nikki.
Ooh. So I like Rhyme. I love it, but I'm gonna go with Hallowed.
I'm really shocked by that. I want to hear the details. I mean, as a deep, skilled, talented musician, they're two different types. Which one? It's hard to compare, but you being the professional, I do want to hear these details as to why.
Honestly, if you just want to know why, I Hallowed, it's so much. There's so many different things going on. Well, there is as well in Rhyme. Rhyme does have that breakdown where it's just the bass and the clean guitar and the spoken vocals. And I mean, it is a killer song, but it's a little droney for me at times, to where, especially on stage, literally I don't play in that clean part kind of. I just kind of sit a long time, but that doesn't take away from the song. Hallowed to me is just so more powerful. Everything in that song is kind of geniusly written to me. And that ending, you know, the yeah, you know, and then that where it's just the bell ringing, and then the do 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 da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You can't. That's one of my favorites.
The toms too, right at the end.
Yes. Da-da-da-da-da-da. It's so powerful, but I know people go crazy when they hear Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. Always want to hear that one too. That's a hard one, but I'm gonna go with Hallowed.
There you go.
All right.
Plus, Rhyme is like twice as long.
I usually like the epics. I love the really long. They're great and Rhyme, but that's a tough one.
Don, how about you?
I love all 13 minutes and 23 time of the Turner.
13:45.
There you go.
Of course.
And I've seen Iron Maidens play it, and Iron Maiden play it. In fact, I saw them at the Garden play it when the power went off right in the middle, and they took out a soccer ball and just started playing soccer on stage together until the up again. And that was a great moment. You could really make the case for Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner on one thing and one thing alone, is that it's been pretty much acknowledged, even by Iron Maiden themselves, that they kind of lifted Hallowed Be Thy Name from somebody else.
A couple hundred years old.
It never went fully like to a legal conclusion. I think there was obviously some money exchanged. However, with all that said, you know, if you want to know where Lars got a lot of his drumming style, listen to Hallowed Be Thy Name, Clive Burr, just all those fills that are just all on the snare and not all the toms and all that stuff. That's Lars's whole style comes from Hallowed. It's still the iconic song, regardless of the controversy. So I gotta go with Hallowed.
Okay. Dennis, would you like to go next or last?
Let me go next, I guess. Just from the aspect of being the super fan, and my heart is broken right now. Okay. It's a very tough thing. So, Hallowed Be Thy Name it's been part of their set list forever. I think it's only on 2 tours where they didn't really do it. It's a fan favorite, right? It's just badass. It's iconic. Rhyme, though, for me, again, it was a great way to finish the album. I had to go look this guy up when I was in high school, like who actually came up with, you know, the whole concept of that song, or, you know, the poem itself. And I always remember water, water everywhere. I mean, that is something that sticks out with me. That is probably, you know, one of my top 3 songs from Maiden. And when I did see it live, I almost cried like a little girl. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm actually seeing that song. So I'm going to go with Rhyme. Fanboy.
All right. Well, I am sorry, I'm doing math. Okay. I was tallying votes. I am going with Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. That is, and very interestingly enough, I'm going with Rhyme. I love the song. I'm a prog dork. I love Queensryche's. I love Promised Land from Queensryche. I love when artists get artsy. I love Dream Theater. I love where Rhyme goes. I love the voyage it takes you on. I love everything about it. I'm going with Rhyme. And very interesting thing to that end. Myself,
it's a tie.
Myself, Jason, and Nikki would have had every single pick exactly the same if Nikki had gone with Rhyme over Hallowed Be Thy Name.
Oh, shit.
The 3 of us picked everything identical until she picked Hallowed Be Thy Name. Izzy doesn't count because he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
Dude, I listened to him.
So Izzy has a Izzy went 7-1.
Yeah.
Izzy overwhelmingly.
Better record. It's a better record.
This is what this tells me. Izzy started listening to Number of the Beast in the bathroom, and then when he got out of the bathroom, he got distracted and didn't really pay attention to Powerslave because he only has an attention span for like 17 minutes. So he couldn't have made it through Rime of the Ancient Mariner if he had to. So what this really tells me is he never listened to Powerslave.
Bullshit. I did, and I paid attention to it. So, Paul, in the words of our good friend Mike Dawson, middle fingers, all 10 of them.
Hold on.
And a shark.
So 12, 15, 18, 22, 26. I think that's right. I'm trying to do math now. 8, 9, 10.
While he's talking,
how is this possible?
Scott Romans in the chat room says no one ever talks about Sabotage. Yeah, because they had like one song.
Oh, stop. Sabotage is arguably the most underrated band in the history of metal.
No, that's King's X. But we're talking about metal. Okay.
I don't consider King's X really
I don't
metal.
either. I don't either. I take that back. I apologize.
I think this is and slide. Slide.
What?
The power.
I can't hear.
Yeah, Don, you're breaking up.
Are we ready? Are we ready for the final?
Hold on.
Double check this.
Hold on. Do you, Paul? Would you like the drum roll?
Sure.
All right, here we go with the drum roll. I'll pull my headphones off so you guys in the.
I think it's by 1 or 2. It's going to be close.
There are 2 different ways we can tally this. If we go by total votes, which is how we always do this, by total votes, the albums are tied 424.
Oh, hold on. They're tied.
However, the total votes 24-24 is if we go total votes. If we go song by song breakdown, Number of the Beast won 3 songs. Number of the Beast won with The Prisoner, with Number of the Beast, and with Run to the Hills. Powerslave won with Aces High, 2 Minutes to Midnight, Flash of the Blade, Powerslave, and we had a tie with Rime of the Ancient Mariner and Hallowed Be Thy Name. So if we go song by sound breakdown, it would be 3 for Number, 4 for Powerslave, and a tie, which would make Powerslave the tiebreaker.
We do total votes.
Powerslave gets the tiebreaker by songs.
But we do total votes. We do total votes. That we always do total votes, right?
Well, you need a tiebreaker.
Well, didn't you text Jericho?
No, I'll text him right now. We'll see if he's on his. Let's see.
Just say Powerslave or Number.
Well, he's not in my phone as Jericho, so that's my first problem. Hold on a minute. Okay.
Kyle
coming up.
Kyle in the chat room says Number wins it for me. I think most of the people in the chat room are on the Number side. Kyle says he's the tiebreaker. No, you're not. Lori says total votes.
Total votes is a tie.
Total votes is a tie. So we need a tiebreaker.
Well, Brian.
The logical tiebreaker is which one wins more songs, which album won more songs after total votes. But I have no problem calling it a tie, but it's theoretically not a tie if we go track by track.
And that's how we do it. Because why would we do it track by track if we weren't going to decide track by track?
Ooh.
Well, I just calculate both ways. That's all.
Right.
I go both ways, Izzy.
So it is in fact
you've
a
tried.
tie or power.
So it is, in fact, Jason
Right.
was right. It is in fact a tie, which is pretty appropriate, I do think. I mean, that is that's my opinion.
I don't feel right about this ending in a tie.
I do.
Well, honestly, you're the reason it ended. If you had actually listened to Powerslave,
I did, and it was terrible. It did absolutely nothing for me. Number of the Beast is a superior album.
I just got kicked in the groin on that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Hold on, Rika just walked in the door. Rika,
line.
Powerslave versus Number of the Beast. Which album? Rika just yelled Powerslave all the way.
Yeah, well, she's not Chris Jericho.
And since Facebook keeps telling Rika that she's Chris Jericho's wife and asking her to ID photos, we'll give her the tiebreaker since Chris hasn't read the text message yet.
Oh, great, Don.
Hold
That's
on. Here's a
nice,
good
Don.
idea.
That's awesome.
Brian in the chat room from Chicago says Dennis gets the tiebreaker vote because he bribed me.
Yeah, hey, that sounds good to me.
You know what? I know Brian, and that is a very wise thing to say. So if I am the tiebreaker, I have, you know what I'm going to say? It has to be Powerslave.
Oh my God.
And that is tough. That's a tough. This wasn't a fair comparison because they both kick ass all along. I mean, they're both iconic.
The garbage.
Hey guys, I gotta run. I gotta get in the room more.
The room org?
Yeah.
Don, before you run, you got anything coming up people need to know about?
Lots of shows coming up. The world is opening up again, not Los Angeles, but the world. And come out and see me sometime doing stand-up in your town or getting my hand bashed in by the drummer in Drowning Pool. And on time to get back on stage. So appreciate all the support. And come follow me on the social medias.
And buy his album.
We'll see you soon. Hopefully we'll see you soon, Don.
Buy his latest album, it's Denim or Laughter. Denim or Laughter.
This Communication Breakdown, all available now on Metal Blade Records and Tapes.
Records and tapes. Can I get your album on 8-track?
I make a special exception.
Well, I can't wait to see you in person. It's been way too long. It's hard to believe it's been over a year and a half since I've seen most of the world. But
great.
My earpiece fell. But thank you, Don. And if you have to jump, it was a pleasure.
Thank you so much, brother.
See you guys. Thanks. Be well.
And then we'll go through everybody else here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still on.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we're still on.
As I say that on air, yeah, we're still on. Is this thing on? All right, Dennis, tell us what you got coming up.
I live in Vegas. There's all kinds of stuff happening. So when you guys come to Vegas, you're looking for a place to crash. I got a pretty decent house. I've got a decent bar. So, and I'm cheaper than a hotel.
Dennis, will you be at Faster Pussycat on the 18th?
I think so. I'm pretty sure Stabley keeps bringing up all these different bands to me. So I've got, I'm going to be at M3 for anyone that's going to be out there. A lot of people have already pinged me on that if I'm going. But guys, I'm not professional like you. I'm a fanboy. I'm a tag along. So whatever I can do to help support your band, let me know. More than happy to throw money for merch and stuff.
I actually have a question for you. Why did you pick? Did thought go into that shirt, or did you just grab the top Iron Maiden shirt since it was Iron Maiden, or is that like your favorite Maiden shirt, or like why did you pick that shirt?
Honestly, all I own is Irons and Harley Davidson shirts. That's all I own. And this one, Angie folded for me right before I jumped out of the pool and came in here, and it was right on top. It doesn't matter. I could have brought one right underneath it. It would have been another one.
Just
and
for the record.
Oh, yes.
I am going
Yes.
to. I'm going to play something for Jericho. Because
So
I know
Chris
you
said
won't.
Powerslave also.
This is for Jericho and everybody else.
Wrong. You're wrong.
That was good.
Oh my God. Oh, so this is the best. So Chris just sent me. I'm gonna plug this right now. Just texted me this. So Chris, back in 19, I'm gonna have to listen to this tonight. Chris on Chris's podcast, Rock Talk is Jericho, on March 21st, 2019, they did a classic album clash, Number of the Beast versus Powerslave.
And
so we could actually go back and listen to that one. I'm assuming Powerslave won because it should, but
no, because Numbers are a superior album.
It's playing to see who was on it.
And since Jericho was nice enough to text and send him that link, check out the new Fozzy single, which came out just a couple days ago.
Yeah, I think late last week it came out.
Yeah, I think it came out on Friday.
Check out the video. Go watch the video. It's cool. You know, it's not very often that you can go, oh, that's something that hasn't been done before, but it's a really cool concept for a video. I like it. So yeah, there's the Jericho plug, because we have to plug Chris Jericho all the time because he doesn't get enough attention on his own. So
and maybe eventually he'll come on. Who knows? We'll see if it works out. Jason, what do you got there, brother?
Well, lots of stuff. Or what can I talk about, old Paul? What will not get me in trouble there? Can I talk about the record? Can I talk about that?
You can talk about the record. You could, just we can't say where it's coming out with yet. We can't say who's putting it out yet. We could basically be general about everything. We just can't give specifics.
Will there be another? Well, look, will there be another infomercial like there was for Bodies when that album came out? Even though I know you weren't in the band at the time.
Right.
That was brilliant. I'm not gonna lie. That was brilliant fucking marketing. Buying commercial time on cable TV for your album, and all of a sudden everybody hears the song over and over and over because it kept replaying, and now everybody knows who fucking Drowning Pool is because of that. It's fucking brilliant.
Well, I don't know if there was gonna be, but I'm definitely gonna lobby to buy some ad time.
I think
that's a fantastic idea, and I thank you for bringing that up. But no, I think coming up you're gonna get brand new Drowning Pool music, and we're gonna be everywhere, literally everywhere that you can catch live music. We're gonna be there. So.
Yeah, nice. I will. It's things are. Yeah, if you we'll say, Dennis, if depending what cruises you're on, maybe you could buy Jason a drink if you happen to be on.
Absolutely, I'm always good for buying people alcohol. Izzy will tell you that.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
we got big stuff getting announced, which is cool. That's
nice.
Awesome.
So.
Oh, pay attention to what drowningpool.com for all the answers.
Don't go to drowningpool.com right now. No, don't go to that. Pay attention to Instagram and Facebook. Instagram and Facebook.
There you go. Nikki, I know you got a Heaven Below CD out with the great Patrick Kennison, who you know very closely and personally. What else? What else you got going on? What do you got? What the Maidens got going?
Well, kind of like Don said, the world is opening back up. So we've got a lot of dates starting in July. Well, we have 2 shows this month, but we're hitting the road hard in July. So I cannot wait. Can't fucking wait for that. And then just working on stuff with Heaven Below as well. And then I'm working on my first full-length solo album. So
nice. Awesome. Badass. And are you still with Schecter?
Hell yes. Just had my
There you
second
go.
signature. Yeah.
There you go.
I'll wait.
I only have a signature amp. I don't have a signature guitar yet. Working
Hey,
on that.
that's nice. I'll take that.
Maybe if you had better taste in music, you'd have more signature stuff.
Oh.
Hold on, Paul.
The dog's
all
even
10.
The dog's
all
even
10. All 10. Not just 2, all 10. In the words of great Mike Dawson. All right. So we are going to be re-recorded for the next couple weeks. We're working on a couple things. We will announce when it's ready, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's that. Let me hit the outro music. Paul, you got anything to pimp before I make like a tree and get out of here?
Stuff to pimp. Go check out new Jason Charles Miller video is out, expiration day. Check out, this is not metal, but check out Dendel Hoyt, Ddendyl Hoyt. Sean McGee, who produced the Drowning Pool record that will be coming out later this year. Sean produced her song. It's pop, blues, soulful, really good stuff. Just came out Friday. Worth checking out if you like different things. There's going to be some big Drowning Pool. We'll have some Drowning Pool news coming out Friday. And probably some pretty big, I know I've been teasing the Metal Edge news, but there's going to be some big Metal Edge news probably in the next month and a half.
Right.
So yeah, it's busy. We're busy. And I will be, I will be at M3. So if anyone's at M3, and also we are, I think it looks like I'm going to be on Shiprocked too. So
very well.
There may be some opportunities there as well. So we will.
Very well.
We're going to be all over between Monsters of Rock, Shiprock. The dog just found out I'm going to be out of town for Shiprock, and he's not happy now. He's got to go to the thing. But but that's it. That's everything right now. Like I said, big Drowning Pool news will have Friday.
There you go. Nikki Stringfield, Iron Maidens, Heaven Below. Thank you very much. Jasen Moreno, Drowning Pool. Thank you very much. Dennis Waldron. Thank you very much. Pleasure to have you, buddy. Paul Gargano. My name is Izzy Presley. I'll see everybody up in St. Cloud, Minnesota in about a week. Paul, don't blow a gasket, because I'm going to say this, but I'm going to say it differently. My name is Izzy Presley. What I lack in talent, I make up for in, well, nothing.